Good morning, Rams. Welcome back to this week's KRAM.
I'm Kenneth Carls.
And I'm Ricardo Maldonado.
We hope that you had a great Thanksgiving break as we move into the final weeks of this virtual semester.
While our clubs are online, they are still meeting and pressing forward. The Do Something Club, which finds different service projects, is working with the Children's Hospital.
Do Something is a global nonprofit organization and a club here at Rampart. Though few in numbers, the club members have been working hard to do campaigns and to help the community.
Do Something is a club I started last year, but it's actually a chapter of a nonprofit organization that was started in the 1990s, I believe. It's a nonprofit that has built off their organization on the idea of taking action, building community, and doing good throughout several places. It's not just nationwide, it's global. Through that club and through that organization, many have been able to build off their own leadership, have been able to help others in great ways.
The club, we do something, the club is about helping your community. It's not even just a Rampart thing. I think our commanding officer is based in New York. That's the one our leader checks into. And we're, I think, based in America and Canada, and we do a bunch of campaigns to help people and community. We do a bunch of campaigns to help de-stress, provide fundraisers, provide materials for people in need. We do a lot to help, again, the community. We're a community-based club.
Champions for Children is the latest campaign that the club has been involved in.
Our main goal, our most tangible goal that we have right now is to raise $500 cash for the hospital and for more art supplies and everything like that. We're looking to at least make 3 car trips to the hospital full of items.
Champions for Children is actually somewhat of a separate project. However, I am involving Do Something club members with it. The Children's Hospital right now, especially during COVID-19, have probably had a lack of donations and a lack of not only donations with monetary value, but physical value. There's kids over in that hospital who can't exactly go outside yet because of the fact that they're high risk and they are essentially vulnerable for this disease. So we wanted to get the community together and we wanted to collect donations both in monetary value and in physical value for the Children's Hospital.
There are multiple ways you can help, even outside the club.
I say for right now, a big thing you can do to help is join the club. Spread the word.
Currently, we're looking for donations and people to help us set up donation sites.
We would like you guys to donate certain items, which include toys that are not used at all, none whatsoever, books, anything in that certain aspect. We also have a website set up actually, and a GoFundMe that is located there. And what we need is either, if you can't donate, to share that link with friends, family, people you know in the community. It doesn't even have to be in Colorado Springs. It could be your grandpa from Boston right now or anyone else.
More information about Champions for Children is located at ayana03.wixsite.com/C4CCOC hospital. You can join the Rampart Do Something Club with the remind code at DoSome2020. Information about the campaigns is located at dosomething.org.
A final message that I want to send to any Rampart student right now, amidst everything, be kind, because being kind right now is one of the most important things that we can do to make an impact. You never know when being kind to someone can actually end up making a huge impact on their lives.
This has been Zoe Bars, signing off.
Thank you, Do Something Club, for the good work you are doing.
If you want to get involved with the Champions for Children event, contact the Do Something Club.
There's a program here at school that you might not know much about.
The River is a flexible format that allows you to get an education on your own terms.
There is a unique learning option offered at Rampart called the River Program. This blended learning model allows students to complete their core classes online at their own pace, while also taking elective classes in person at Rampart.
So the River program was designed to be a blended learning program where We would look at students would take their core classes online and come in building for all of their elective classes. So really, before all of this pandemic hit and we were in this kind of remote learning, the idea was there was kids who needed more flexibility in their schedule. Instead of coming to school and taking all of your classes in building, we created the River program to kind of have a little bit of both, where you could take your core classes in a very flexible manner online, where it's not synchronous, where you're connected to a teacher at a certain time of day, but instead you complete coursework using an online curriculum called Edgenuity that's kind of self-paced, self-guided with teacher support in building.
I really liked the ability to do my classes at whenever I wanted to, and allowed me to work and have extracurriculars and all that stuff. And I like getting ahead in my classes.
I can work at my own pace, either faster than or slower than it would be taught in class, and I can usually get feedback.
Students choose to do the River program for a variety of reasons, as it allows flexibility within their schedules.
I don't have a super consistent schedule, but I usually work from like 4 in the afternoon to 10 at night.
So I kind of have 2 daily schedules. So one day I would wake up for work in the mornings, and then I would come home and do 1 class period for a good amount of time. And then another day I would wake up whenever I wanted to and then do a little bit of like the class of all 3 of my classes.
Some kids just prefer the online format. They prefer being able to work at their own pace. Other kids have outside obligations that we have professional gymnasts and professional skiers and kids that do sports competitively, club hockey, that makes them be out of town quite a bit. And you can still, before all our synchronous learning, I mean, as you guys know, last year synchronous learning wasn't a thing. And it used to be if you had to go out of town for a hockey tournament, you just missed class. Well, with Edgenuity and the River program, you can still participate in your core classes at your own pace, even if you're out of town for a sporting event. So I think a lot of kids like the flexibility of being able to make their own schedule.
As the River program has been successful for the 2020-21 school year, Rampart plans on offering this learning option for the next year as well.
We think next school year we'll really be able to implement this program in its full designed way, and we think it'll be a great program for our community.
If you would like more information on the River program, visit the River website. This has been Elia Bono, reporting for Kram.
If you're interested in becoming part of the River, talk to your counselor about getting into the program.
Shortly before we went virtual, our Rampart building suffered some flooding in the tech wing.
Both teachers and students were displaced for a week. Kram decided to go in depth and find out what happened.
With 2020 being a crazy year, some of the teachers at Rampart couldn't get a break as their rooms were flooded in the tech wing.
I came in Saturday, probably around 10 o'clock. And that's when I noticed water just pouring from the ceiling in my classroom. So I would assume, since Friday was a work day and nobody was in the building, that the water leak started Friday sometime.
The flooding started upstairs. There was a water fountain, the one that's right outside the science classrooms, Miss Winiger's and Miss Pello's rooms. That water fountain broke, and we're not sure if a pipe froze or what happened with it, but it broke and then just spewed water everywhere. And the water went down the hallway and came through the ceiling, which is how the lower classrooms got flooded.
My room actually was pretty minor. It was a little wet under the carpet at the back of my room. I'm at the very edge of the damage that happened. There is a little bit of damage on the walls, but it's pretty minor compared to the other rooms over closer to the drinking fountain.
And I got a video from one of my friends in the math department that showed just water pouring down from the ceiling of my office.
I noticed that a lot of other classrooms, the baseboards were pulled off. They had to put holes in the walls to try and air out the walls so mold wouldn't develop inside the interior of the walls.
They needed to remove and replace about 15 ceiling tiles.
For the most part, they just had fans that were going for the last several days trying to dry everything out, including the drywall. on the wall, and I think they're going to need to replace a little bit of drywall on the bottom of the wall also.
These teachers aren't only dealing with destroyed rooms, but also having to move and teach in other rooms.
Well, it's a crazy year as it is, and then you try and get things set up in classrooms so you can at least try and meet the needs of kids that are in front of you and then kids that are at home. And then when they tell you got to pack up and move to a different room, it makes it kind of challenging.
Well, it's been interesting I spent the last 5 years traveling, so I have my trusty cart, so I was back on my cart again. What was different this time is trying to do hybrid at the same time as traveling.
Students come to see me for help all day long, and I kept being displaced to different places in the building, and I would have to, it was like a little scavenger hunt. Where's Mrs. Rehorst? And I would have to leave little notes about, here's where I'm going to be today. And then if I was displaced from there, I'd be like, oh no, just kidding. I'm not really in the library. They moved me to this place.
My mood, probably just well, here we go again. More stuff. That's normal for this year, so whatever.
I thought to myself, I just finally get to come back to work. What kind of sign is this that it's raining in my classroom and I'm not supposed to be here?
I saw where it had flooded. I was kind of more like relief because I was like, oh, well, at least none of my papers or my files or my electronics. Really, it just landed on the carpet and a table.
The teachers are still grateful to administration for all the hard work they have done.
I am grateful that my administration and the building manager were able to get on this and work as fast as they did to help all of us get back into somewhat normal teaching environment. So I want to make sure that they get a shout out. So thank you to our administration and our building manager in the district for getting this work done.
As this trial passes, we can only wonder what other misfortunes might come our way. This is Marcus Tolman, signing off.
The repairs were all completed before we went virtual. The tech wing is back and ready to have students as soon as COVID allows.
In our student profile series, we decided to highlight a student who's not from Rampart, but who's still in our community.
Elsie Lester is growing up with a rare form of muscular dystrophy right here in our own community, but her positive attitude and kind personality is what really makes her story worth knowing.
Elsie Lester is a 7-year-old girl with a condition called SMA, which affects her muscle function.
So SMA, it stands for spinal muscular atrophy, and it's a form of muscular dystrophy. It's a rare genetic disorder that 1 in 40 people is a carrier for, and if 2 of those people have a child, there's a 1 in 4 chance that the child will have it.
Elsie is our 7-year-old daughter, and she was born with SMA type 1, which is a weaker version.
The COVID-19 virus poses a great threat to Elsie because she cannot get respiratory viruses. The family has had to adjust their daily lives to stay safe from COVID.
Since we got our diagnosis, Elsie has always been very susceptible to any kind of a cold and flu and those kinds of things. And so we've always been on kind of high alert since we've gotten our diagnosis. But COVID, just like the flu or rhinovirus to us, is very concerning. And so as contagious as it is, that's our greatest concern, is that one of us would come home, that I would come home from my job as a school principal, and not know that I had it, but be carrying it and shedding it. And so that's our great concern right now, is that, there's that lag time between when you first get infected, you're spreading it, and you have no symptoms whatsoever. So the asymptomatic spread is something that's concerning for us, but we're trying to be as vigilant as we can.
Despite Elsie's condition, she goes into every day with a smile and lightens up everywhere around her.
Elsie is a very spunky, sassy, and fiercely independent girl.
My favorite thing about Elsie is she's really funny, and she's really fast, and I like to race her. And I think that she's really funny.
We thank Elsie for bringing joy to everyone around her. This has been Elia Bono, reporting for Kram.
Thanks to the Lester family and Elsie for being part of Kram.
There are not many things people care for as much as their pets.
Kram thought it would be fun to look at some of our students and how they bond with their pets over quarantine. Since everyone is home due to COVID-19, the Kram teams wanted to find out how the pets of Rampart and the students are being affected by quarantine.
She's a miniature wiener dog, and her name is Princess Leia.
We got 4 pets, 2 cats, 2 dogs. So we got 1 boy cat, 1 girl cat. Boy cat is Indy, girl cat is Bella. And we got 2 dogs. They're both babies. They're both girls too. One is Suki, one is Tater Tot.
We have 3 cats and a dog. Our cat's name is Scatters.
I don't know what kind of pet I have. He's his own interesting little character. He's a rescue dog named Obi-Wan.
Some people don't see the benefit of having a pet, so we decided to ask.
The best part of having a pet? She's just a really good dog. I've had several dogs in my life, but our dog Percy is just really sweet. She talks a lot, which enjoys barking.
They're just really fun to have around. It's nice to have just another life form, I guess. They're cute, fun to play with and stuff.
Probably just to have something to keep me company, Yeah. Because I don't really talk to them very much. I'm just in my room a lot. So probably just having her be there.
The laughs that he brings and the crazy shenanigans he pulls.
They hang out with you a lot, and it's like a person hanging out with you.
Now that we know why people like pets, we want to know some disadvantages of having pets.
The hardest part? When we go out of town for hockey tournaments, trying to find a place to put the dog.
Oh, definitely cleaning up after them. It's a lot.
Definitely when she will puke on the carpet. That's it's the worst thing ever, and then I'm the one who has to pick it up.
Reminding my kids to feed and water him, and the mess that he makes on my windows with his little nose.
Disadvantages aside, there were still some really fun memories.
Whenever I'll be sitting in my bed or something, she'll just come up and lay next to me, and probably that.
For me, I would say when we were little and we got them, the first day we got them, we were all super excited.
When we saw him in the parking lot, and I told you to get out of the car and run to the dog, and you ran to the wrong dog, and it was this one. Here he is. I love him anyways.
Meeting her, picking her up is really probably the best memory.
How have the relationships between the owners and the pets been affected during COVID-19?
Well, I haven't really affected it that much besides I get to see them while I'm doing schoolwork and stuff.
Now that we're always home, I'm seeing her probably most of every day. So I would say.
Well, it looks like there is light in darkness. It seems that the pets and their owners have bonded during quarantine. Thank you for chiming in, Rams.
That's it for this week, Rams. Only 3 more weeks until the end of the semester.
Thanks for tuning in. This is Kenneth Carls.
And Ricky Maldonado reporting for Kram.
Remember to be awesome. Go Rampart. Thank you to do something. Oh gosh.
Which finds different service problems. Let's redo that one.
Well, there is a program you might not know. I forgot about. So it's you might not know.
The river is a flexible form. Oh my god.
That was weird.
And Ricky